Hi, I'm Sarah Gelsheimer, and today I want to talk to you about home ownership. Certainly right now the housing market is booming, so should you be one of those who jumps on this bandwagon? Well, I would say that depends, like everything else. So home ownership is known to be the American dream, and I feel like a lot of people feel the need to jump on home ownership purely because they've reached a certain age or a certain milestone, and that's not necessarily the case. So today I want to talk about a few things to think about before you decide whether or not you should proceed with buying a home. So first of all, I want to clear up a few misconceptions. First of all, a lot of people view their home or say they want to buy a home for investment purposes. And unless you plan to flip a home or rent it out, I would say do not consider your home that you're going to live in as an investment. It really is more of a consumption item. So yeah, we hope that your home value will increase over time, but more than likely it's probably not going to increase much more than inflation. So the other misconception is I've heard people say they want to invest in a home for the tax benefits. Obviously, if you itemize your deductions and you do have a home mortgage, then yes, generally you get to deduct that interest from your income. However, due to tax legislation that happened a couple of years ago, the standard deduction was significantly increased, almost doubled. So very few people nowadays actually itemize their deductions. So if you're not itemizing your deductions, you're actually not getting any benefit for that mortgage interest. So that's another misconception I wanted to clear up. The other thing to really think about before you decide to jump on home ownership are all the costs that are associated with home ownership. So of course there are ongoing costs like property taxes and homeowners insurance, which can be very, very costly. But there are also those one-off expenses like an AC that breaks or a toilet that breaks. There's no landlord available to call to have them come take that expense or take care of it for you. So lots of costs involved with home ownership. So a general rule of thumb is to keep about 1% of the home value in a separate account simply for ongoing maintenance costs associated with having a home. Of course, there are a lot of perks to home ownership. You get to do whatever you want with the house. Hopefully you're going to continue building equity, but it does come with a lot of costs and responsibility. So if you're still on the fence about whether or not you should rent or own a home, here are a few questions you should ask yourself. First of all, how long do you expect to be living in this particular part of the country? If less than 5 years, I would definitely recommend renting, particularly if you live in a very expensive part of the country like New York or California. Another question you should ask yourself is, do you have the funds not only for a down payment for a home, which I would recommend no less than 20% of the purchase price, but also cash set aside for those home maintenance projects that are inevitably going to come up. A home is really not very liquid, so if you do not have any liquid assets to tap into, that could be an issue. The other question I want you to ask yourself is, are you ready for the maintenance, the responsibility of keeping up a home? Hopefully those questions, if you can answer all of those, it will steer you in the right direction, but certainly if you have any other questions about home ownership or renting, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you.